time, you probably noticed we finished the mounts. Since we've done that, we've had the engine a couple times, and now we're working on connecting the engine to the car. So fuel lines, shift linkage, exhaust, radiator hoses, all the emissions stuff, and of course the big job is the wiring. So we've been working hard to get that all together so we can get the engine in and fired up. It's funny, designing the mounts takes a certain amount of time, but actually getting the engine in and making all the small things that go along with it, that probably takes more time actually than designing and building the mounts. So right now that's what we're working on. For exhaust, we decided to hook up with the MagnaFlow system that was on here. It's going to be a little bit small for our engine. We'll address that later, but we needed to, get it in and started. So we made an adapter for that. So it's kind of funny, it goes from 3 inches down to about 2 inches on the exhaust. There's all sorts of stuff in here. And it just goes to the ECU at C36.
So it's ECU power?
Yeah.
That was the one that went everywhere.
Oh yeah, it was like a sensor power. One of the really big jobs on this is the wiring harness. We have to make a harness that goes from this engine to the CRZ. It's very similar to the 06 Civic Si, so we've actually started with that as our base wiring harness. But then we've had to take the information from the 06 Civic and this and kind of meld the two and get a harness built for it. It's funny, we found a pile of errors in both the CRZ and the 06 Civic manuals, and it's just kind of funny how that all works out. But I called some help in. Ryan, one of the guys that does wiring here at Hasport over the years, he's working on the harness right now, getting it all straightened away. We've had to take some of the things that were on the body harness on the 06 Civic and move them to the engine harness on this particular swap. Also, the radiator needed to be moved forward, so we went with the all-in fab radiator on this. It's really nice. One of our friends, Jamie, made some excellent mounts for it, so it's all mounted up and looking good. Today we're sizing the radiator hoses. This has a quick disconnects on the fuel system on both the stock fuel rail and in the car, so we're just going to fab up some lines using that system. At some point down the road we'll probably have to put a much bigger fuel system in. Eventually we're going to supercharge this motor, so we're going to be in the neighborhood of about 450 horsepower. So we're going to need a lot more fuel than this can give us. We're also going to be working on the heater hoses. We want to be able to use the defroster when racing on cold days. We have to fabricate axles for this because there isn't a stock axle that'll work for it. We also have some work we have to do with the shifter. We want to use the stock shifter mechanism and cables, so we have to make a new holder to operate the shift mechanism down here. And we'll do that tomorrow morning and hopefully have it wrapped up by later in the day. So I'm hoping to have this, it's Wednesday now, I'm hoping to have this running by Friday. If we do, then we'll bring it up to SEMA on Sunday, and the car will have its unveiling on Sunday.
And Hasport did make that deadline, as the CRZ debuted at the 2011 SEMA show, and everybody loved it. Well, pretty much.
Basically, you just got intake, suspension, and that's all you can do to it. And maybe a reprogram of the computer.
Yeah, that's all you could do to it, or you could take out the gas electric hybrid and replace it with the K24 Screamer made into a 6-speed transmission perfect for the track. And that's exactly what Eibach did. In addition to being seen at the track, the Eibach CRZ was also featured in the pages of Honda Tuning magazine. Coming up, Brian buys the CRZ from Eibach and tells us about his plans to take the car to the next level.